Hi, everyone. Being a human being can be really hard. It can be really hard just to be a human being. We have a lot of things sometimes that work against us in this world. A lot of pain and suffering. Things like bills or just the stresses and work of everyday life. Or even more, relationships that are hard. Parents or children, that can be a difficult thing. It's also very difficult just to be a Christian in this world, to be someone who believes in Jesus. We live in what we could call a culture of death, a culture that puts myself first rather than God, a culture that says that it's okay to kill an unborn baby, or a culture that sometimes can encourage discrimination. So there's a lot of things in our life that we can be sad about. There's a lot of things in our life that can grieve us. Things that we can grieve about bring sadness to our heart. And it's like Jesus says today in our gospel. He says, while the world rejoices, you will grieve, or you will weep while the world rejoices. I think it's good for us to always remember that Jesus didn't promise his disciples, nor did he promise us that this life would be easy, that following him would be an easy life. Yet, he tells us that there will be grief in this life, that there will be pain and sorrow, and that things won't be easy all the time. Today we also celebrate the feast of Our Lady of Fatima. And while Our Lady brought great joy to the three young shepherd children, she also told them of the reality that there would be more pain and sorrow and suffering in this world. And in this world, there is going to be those things. But there's always hope. There's always hope that Jesus tells us in the gospel. He says, yes, there will be grief, but your grief will turn to joy. Your grief will turn to joy. We live in a world where there's a lot of darkness, but there's always light. And that light for us is our faith in Jesus. That faith in Jesus which brings us above and beyond our griefs or helps us to endure them with faith. So, even though we might have our griefs, we might have our sorrows, we might have those pains in our lives, we always look to Jesus. We always hold firm to him because he is our light. And in him, all of our griefs will be turned to joy.